Hello fellow pilots, I'm Major Payne and this is another episode of How to Play, more precisely how to play ground attack planes. Last video of mini-series where I talk about each class of the planes in Warplanes, how to play them, all the secrets I know and many good tips. However, will be very helpful if you watch previous training episode about sectors, how to capture them, how many capture points have each ground target. That's pretty important specifically for GAs. In this video I won't be going through all that again. In that sense it's not for beginners, it's for more advanced pilots which wants to improve their effectiveness in ground attack planes and learn new tactics and techniques. So let's get started and let's start from ammunition for ground attack planes, because it's a bit of the mystery for most of the players. So let's sort this out first. We can say that we have 5 types of ammunition. If you go into the battle and you don't put any ammunition into your consumable slot, that's what you have. It's called ammunition. So this is basic. Now, other than that, we have 4 different types of ammunition in a hangar. We have universal ammunition, incendiary, fragmentation, and high explosive armor piercing. That's for ground attack planes. We start with this basic, so we don't have any ammunition here now. And you also need to know that most of the targets have 2 types of sections, and they are unarmored section and armored sections of the target. And this is important to know that because we deal maximum damage to unarmored sections, and armored section, when we fire them, damage is reduced significantly. Yeah? But there's no RNG. We always will deal maximum damage. So if you want to truly see the maximum damage of your cannon, then you fire one shot into the unarmored section of the target. And if you want to see the damage which you cause to the armored section, then you have to fire one shell into the armored section, like in here. Yeah, I fire one shot from 37mm cannon and it's 115 damage. So this is this basic ammunition. That's if you don't put anything into the consumable, no consumable, basic ammunition for this plane, for this 37mm cannon only. Now let's check the damage to the unarmored section of the target. There you go, one shot, and that's the difference, 575. And of course this is this basic ammunition. We don't have anything extra here. Yeah. So let's do another few shots. So there is no RNG, we always deal this damage, like 115 to the armored and 575 to unarmored section. Yeah, and there you go, one shot, 115. So now let's go and check other ammunition. So we're gonna put universal ammunition now, and let's see the difference, how much more damage we can get from this ammunition. We eventually gonna go to premium, but first let's go for this one. That's the ammunition which most of us, I believe, using, because this is for silver, so that's not pay to win. And let's take a look on this. That's armored section, so one shot and 132 damage. So you see 12.5 roughly % more. It's better, but it's not such a significant difference. Yeah. And every single shot will be the same, yeah? So if you fire one shot, that's always the same, there is no RNG, we always deal this maximum damage. With this ammunition it's 132, but if you keep firing, then this number is add up, so it may look like you deal more damage, but that's not the case, this number just adding up. Now let's move to the hangar and let's change that for this one, high explosive armor piercing for ground attack planes. That's where I'm going basically with this test, yeah? So here we go. And we're gonna fire one single shot into this armored sections of this target. There you go, 172 damage. So this is significant difference. It's make a huge difference on the battlefield, plus 33%. Some of those planes have a little bit more, some of them may have a little bit less, but it's around 33%. So it's a huge difference. I recommend you to use this ammunition if you have it. We have also those 2 other ammunition, incendiary and fragmentation, but they don't cause any more damage. They have just this basic ammunition damage, so that would be 115 in that case. Now let's go to another interesting topic, information, let's say. So those trees here they cover me from the air defense. So air defense cannot fire through those trees. So if we fly low enough, just above those trees, air defense cannot fire at us. And this is important because we can use that to our advantage. Like if there is some gap, like here, they may go through it, but in general they cannot fire through those trees, but we can. Our cannons fire through those trees. See, there's some gap, so you could see those cannons fire, but now we can fire through the trees with cannons, and we can fire with rockets. The trees doesn't stop the rocket, so but not very accurate not very accurate physics, but that's what it is, so we can use that. Yeah, we can fire the rockets through the trees and take out some targets. Now bombs is a different story. I'm going to show you that in a moment. You probably whoever watching my content on my channel, you could probably see this funny episode about matchmaking, and there was a part about the ghost bomb, but anyway, let's leave it. I'm gonna show you that exactly how that works. So basically I'm trying to drop those bombs on this AA. There you go. So you see marker is in the right place, and I'm dropping my bombs now. They falling, but what's happened? They just stopped on those trees, and this bomb is not on target. It's gonna explode before the target, so it's not gonna fully destroy this target. Okay, since we have that all explained, we can move to another topic, and it's how to capture the sectors most effectively. And we start from the mining plant. As you see here, I'm going for the mining plant, which is currently mine 1, but we can clearly see that it's just about to fall into enemy hands. There are bombers over there, and there are bomber flight formation going also, so we can be sure that that's gonna fall into enemy hand. And we need to go there because we are slow. Bombers are faster, ground attackers are slower, so it's very important for you to predict what's going to happen, which sector is going to fall, and where you should be during the battle. So I'm going to show you that in this particular ground attacker, which only have 2 bombs, how to flip this mining plant quickly. But before that, we're going to stop for this juicy B-29C to stop him from going for my command center. And this is okay, and it's gonna work fine for my team, but only if I will be able to get back to this mining plant before mining plant add extra 80 influence point to the enemy team. So this is what that's all about. It's about this 80 not capture points, 80 influence points, sorry. So we're gonna go there, and we're gonna do that in a standard way. So basically we destroy 50-point target, another 50-point target, and main building for 80 points. So that's altogether 180. And we start from 50 points, soft out with cannons, and we're gonna drop 1 bomb, then cannons gonna go for the main building in the meantime, soft this target, and we go for 50 now, another 50, so that's gonna be 100 points. There you go, 100 capture points, and I'm making this turn from main building now, and I need to use my cannons, but I'm making this turn too quickly and I'm flying too fast, so that's not enough time now to finish off this building, because obviously cannons overheat. I need to give them time to cool down, and just I'm closing this distance too quickly, so I need to take another turn. And this is actually not that perfect, because when we have to do these turns that take time, and it's all about time here, so we need to do it as quick as possible. And you see, I barely take that on time. Yeah, nonetheless, it's a success, we have it. But I'm gonna show you this maneuver, how to do it in a better way. It's called basically a hammerhead. And I'm only doing that on mining plants because other sectors are filled up with air defense. We can't just be such an easy target. We can't just stop in the air and become such an easy target. It's too dangerous. So I'm only pulling that out on mining plant. So we start here again from 50-point target from other side, but it's the same thing. And another 50-point target. There you go. Bomb. And now I'm flying away from main building, and I'm just going to do the hammerhead here. So I'm pulling my nose up, and I'm gonna use the rudder to flip, and there you go, we slow down to 100 km/h. There you go. So basically I'm hanging in the air like a chopper, like you see, 130 km/h. I fire into the main building, and I have enough time here, yeah, cool down my weapon, and so on and so on. So that's what is this turn about. It wasn't actually, in this case, it wasn't exactly the hammerhead, but it's very similar, that's why I call it. I'm gonna try to show you that one more time. But let's first compare that to the horizontal turn. So let's take a look on another try. So I'm flying here, let's say I want to take out this main building, so we need to fly away and start turning. But you can say, okay, but what if I start my turn with very low speed? Yeah, you can, but then the whole turn will take ages, because at low speed we're not in optimum speed for turning, and the turn time is extremely long. Now we have this yellow speed only at the end of the turn, so it's around 200 km/h. But let's say I want to take out this 50-point target here, so I'm gonna do now my hammerhead, so flying away, I'm gonna pull my nose up, there you go, gravity will assist me with slowing down quickly. I use my rudder to flip, and there you go, we almost there. Yeah, the turn time is even better, and the speed is significantly lower. So now I can go with this 130, finish off the target, not to make another turn, yeah. Okay, I guess that will be it here, but let me show you the example where we taken over the mining plant, like bombers at one pass, because they have also that possibility. But it's never gonna be as quick as bombers, because we need to slow down, you see. I'm slowing down here, I drop my one bomb, use my cannons obviously to soft this target, 2 bombs here, I keep firing, yeah, there you go, like a bomber, but way slower. And last 50-point target here, very risky maneuver, but we have it. So it's possible to take it exactly the same as bomber, but it will never be as fast as bombers. That's why we shouldn't fly them like a bombers. We shouldn't only focus on ground targets. We have capabilities of engaging aerial targets, so let's fly more like multi-role fighters or heavy fighters. I guarantee you that you're gonna achieve better results and better win percentage. In this video I'm not going to talk about any specific ground attack plane. All of them are a little bit different from each other, different strength and weaknesses, but in general I can say that like 90% of the ground attack planes up to tier 8 are extremely weak. They don't have good defense armament, they are very slow, easy target, and they simply have not much influence on the battlefield. Even though I love them, they are accurate, historically accurate, and it's fun to play sometimes, but true is that in the current state of the game they don't have much influence, and because we don't have enough players in the game, it's just not worth to play them, because if you are going up against a heavy fighter at tier 6, let's say, yeah, you are in your ground attack plane, then you are in such a big disadvantage that it's just unthinkable in any other competitive game. Unless, of course, this game will achieve eventually 12 players against 12 players in a battle, that would make a difference, and flying ground attack plane will have some sense by doing your part for the team effort, yeah? Okay, now let's get back to the topic, and let me show you how I'm taking over the command center. So this is enemy command center, and I'm gonna engage those 3 air defense aircraft here. If I take them out, that's 120 capture points, and when we be successful here, then all what left is just 2 ground target, main building and something else, and we have that flipped, yeah. So it's pretty easy to engage those planes. We can slow down, we have very good firepower, and we can use that. We can use the tail gunner also. This guy here get the tail, so he crash, and 2 more left. So also pay attention to the terrain. This sector is very good for that. We can use this terrain, so we don't have to be directly over the ground air defense, and we can engage those planes here, still in a sector, but not being vulnerable to ground air defense, yeah. So we're using terrain here, and we're trying to outmaneuver this air defense aircraft. And with this firepower, it's really easy. I know it's a little bit difficult to hit them with this aiming, but yeah, So what left now, all I need to do is one ground air defense site and main building. In this case I'm actually gonna take out two of them, but one would do. I was probably doing that just to get more personal points, better results, something like that, but that wasn't needed. Just this main building for 50 points, and we have that for my team. Yeah, I still have a lot of HP, so it's pretty big success. We didn't lose much HP. We flip over this command center, and yeah, so this is another example. This one is contested, so enemy planes are incoming from other side. Yeah, this is the beginning of the battle. So what we're going to do, like, we just climb and we're looking for the some aerial target or the air defense or enemy plane, like in this here, this light fighter. There you go, we're trying to slap him and that worked out. So we jump in tail gunner, we finish off him, and this is 60 capture points. So now it's time to dive, take out the best building, in this case the main building, for 50 capture points, something else, and we have this sector flipped, so very aggressively, and we engage the aerial targets. Yeah, so the same with the airbase. Airbase and command center are pretty difficult sectors to take over because there's a lot of ground air defense over there, so it's a very good idea just to fly quickly, take out some aerial target, and then finish off some ground targets. So in this case I'm looking for my target, and there you go, this is air defense, 40 capture points if I take him out. There you go, and now I can dive now and destroy some ground targets and take it quickly. Yeah, and you can do it both ways. You can start from the aerial targets first and then go down and destroy some ground target, or you can start from those air defense, ground air defense, take them out and then engage into some dogfight or air defense aircraft. Yeah, I guess theoretically the best way is to engage the ground air defense first and then engage the aerial targets, I suppose, but it's all depend on the situation. Now it's very important to know the detection range, how the spotting mechanic work in World of Warplanes. I have a video which explains this, so I recommend that to watch that, so you can keep the distance. If you don't have to engage, then don't engage. Yeah, it's better to engage the air defense aircraft than enemy planes. Yeah, so in this case here I'm only going to attack the ground targets, and if you want to do that relatively safely, not being vulnerable to air defense aircraft, then you have to stay very low, just above the ground. And if you fly too high, then unfortunately all those air defense aircraft can cause a lot of damage on you. And of course there's no room for such a mistakes, not finish targets. Yeah, you need to finish and then move your fire to another air defense. There you go. Now the mistake here is that I'm flying too high. I was trying to engage this heavy air defense aircraft, but that didn't work out, and I'm way above the ground. Yeah, and this is a big mistake. I lose a lot of HP, as you see. It's just melting down. Yeah, and this is just basically, this is catastrophe for my team. If I'm not gonna take this airbase, it's just such a huge waste of time. And if you want to take over that kind of sector, you need to be very quickly. You need to be very quick. You need to do it that as quick as possible, because not only someone can come back to you and take you out, like this guy right now, he's coming back to defend, which is very good call on his part. Yeah, but also someone can just respawn just above your head, so it's very difficult sector. But as you see, that was a very good game. Other than this, let's say fuck up, I had a very good game. I was doing an excellent job, but one mistake and the game is lost. Now some players may ask me, when we engage area targets, when we fly a ground attack plane, then it's freaking difficult to hit the aerial targets. It's very difficult to actually bring it down. It's compared to light fighters, heavy fighters, or multi-role fighters. Yeah. So why is that? The answer is simple. Those planes have very little of the auto aim angle. So basically, most of the planes in a game have around 3 degrees, 2 degrees auto aim angle. So basically, game corrects you when you fire at enemy aircraft just slightly off target, like 2 degrees or 3 degrees off target, that game will correct and help you to hit the target, yeah. But in case of the ground attackers, the majority of them have only 1 degree of auto aim angle, so it's almost nothing, yeah. Like this one here have 1 degree, but tier 9 IL-40 have 0.5, and some lower tier, the big guns like 37mm or 57mm cannon or 45mm cannon, those guns have 0, so whatever you shoot, the shell is going there, yeah. So it's not easy, but in my opinion it's a matter of practice. Now let's move to another sector, which is rocket base. In this example, rocket base is in the middle. It's going to be contested, so usually we are not going for the rocket base in the middle in the first tempo, because bombers are faster and it's just waste of time. So we try to take something else and prepare ourselves for retaking the rocket base. But in this case, we have also 2 mining plants, and each team have only 1 bomber, so we can easily predict that those bombers will first go to the mining plant, and that's open up the possibility for us to go for the rocket base in the middle. I'm going to try to do that at one pass as quick as possible. To do that, of course, you need the fast ground attack plane, and that's why we also build GAs usually for speed, or mainly for speed I should say. So here we go, rocket base. Rocket base have 6 high altitude anti-aircraft guns and 4 low altitude anti-aircraft guns. So basically it's more danger for bombers than for ground attackers. We can easily take out those air defense. Now I'm using also my cannons here. Yeah, we have 2 targets for 20 points. Now main building for 80, 2 bombs and 1 more. Altogether 140. That would be enemy that would acquire another 40 capture points to get 180. And again, aerial targets, of course, we engage any opportunity like that. And we can also defend this against this bomber, which inevitably keep going from that mining plant towards the rocket base. And if he is going to do the low altitude bombing, then he became vulnerable, and we can engage into the fight with this bomber, and we have everything what we need to take him out. We have huge firepower, we have very good resilience, a lot of HP. He can't take us out with his tail gunner, but we can easily take him out with our cannons. But I'm gonna talk about this tactic of defending sector in a moment. But first let's talk about defending yourself. That's the next topic. Now, on this example, what you see here is what I see most often in battles. So ground attack planes flying low, crawling over the ground, just refusing to defend himself. Basically keep going for the ground targets, despite that everyone is firing at him. He's just completely ignore that and keep going for the ground targets. And this is in here, that's the IL-10M. It's a premium tier 8 Chinese ground attack, which is very maneuverable, more maneuverable than some of the heavy fighters. Excellent plane for dogfights and attacking aerial targets. But in here we just see like 0 intention to defend on the part of this player, and that result with very short battle, very quick and one-sided match, yeah. Now I have this plane also in my hangar. I get it from the crate during the event, and I've flown one battle specifically for this video just to show you what this plane is capable and how we should play IL-10M. Basically we should engage more aerial target than ground target. So let's take a look on the shortcut of this battle, and I'm gonna come back to you in a moment to discuss more of this topic. So all you need to do is just point your weapon into enemy and fire, go head on. If you want to finish off more vulnerable target, then jump into your tail gunner and try to finish it. You have a lot of HP as a ground attack plane. You have more armor than any other class of other planes, yeah? That's why you have better resistance to damage than another class. Of course, we're not talking about armor like in World of Tanks, but there is an armor. And close to the ground, use your bombs, use your rockets. There's a lot of tools to your disposal. You just need to use them. Obviously, it's easier to say than do, but rule number 1 is practice. Rule number 2 is practice more, and rule number 3 you already know. The only option where I see that you can ignore the enemy which is going after you, attacking you, like in this case I can see that there is heavy fighter incoming, but I focus on capturing this strategic sector first and then I go into defense, not other way around. There's another good example. So I see that there is a heavy fighter here, yeah, and that's my main goal, is to capture this strategic sectors. That's more important than anything else. And if the enemy is going after me and I'm just about to flip this mining plant, then I prefer to go destroy this last ground target and flip it and ignore the enemy. Two main reasons for that. First, we never can be sure about outcome of the dogfight. Second, more important is that, like, let's say in 99% of cases the ground attack plane is in disadvantage. So a good fighter pilot will always use this disadvantage, which is low altitude performance. So good fighter will go into the vertical fight where we cannot keep up, and that's the hard truth. Nonetheless, we should defend ourselves in any other circumstances, like for example here I'm in the middle of the capturing the sky zone and I've been attacked by light fighter, so quickly jump into tail gunner. Don't make it easy, just go into fight, yeah. Be this nasty anti-aircraft cannon and just discourage enemy from engaging with you, basically. Make it very difficult, nasty, time-consuming dogfight, yeah. There is no one universal advice that I could give you. Situational awareness is very important, so basically keep looking on minimap, don't get surprised, that's the very good advice. So just make for yourself a habit to look at this minimap constantly, every free moment, just look it up, what's going on, who is approaching you, and so on. This is very important, and if you're not being surprised by enemy, then they have very good chance of defending yourself, or at least making a good fight. That's the fancy example. This XF-90 attacking me when I was actually engaging the bomber flight formation, yeah, but he is probably not being shot down by ground attacker for a long time, okay, because this turn he's making is such a like an ignorant, you know, he just didn't expect that I will go after him, yeah. So that's this. I mean I'm not wanna offend this player or anything like that, just, you know, I understand that they did not expect that ground attacker will do anything, because as I said earlier on, I just also see that very often that, you know, I can fire at ground attacker and he just ignore me. I can kill him for free. So you see, that's the situational awareness. I know he's coming and I'm just pointing my nose into him, and he see that, so he give up and he was trying to do something else, but luckily for me or for him, this battle just ended. Last thing here is your tail gunner ammunition, and we have universal ammunition and we have gold ammunition, and neither of these ammunition will change the damage output, so damage will be the same no matter what you use. I test that extensively, so I know for sure. The only change is in number of critical hits, and this is huge difference. So if you use the gold ammunition, this is big boost to your defense. That's can be called pay to win, in my opinion, but ground attack planes, they need all the help they can get, so if you have this ammunition in your hangar, just use it for your ground attacker, you will see the difference. Now another topic is tactics, and there's a couple things I want to show you, a couple tactics very important for ground attack planes. So first thing first, in the beginning, as I mentioned earlier on, there's this art of prediction, so we can very easily predict that we're not going to do much on the sector which is close to us, because the bomber are faster. The EF-131 will go there and take over that command center right in front of us, and we will be behind. So what we can do instead, we're gonna go take this long route to enemy command center. Enemy command center is the one which is close to the enemy rest point. So we're gonna go there, and you're just gonna see in a moment how that's gonna play out. Important here is not to be detected, so you obviously need to use the camouflage on your plane. You can use the clouds. Clouds give you 10% less of detection range. And again, this video about detection range is very useful to know the ranges on, and tier 10 basic range is 2500 meters, but that's without any camouflage and stuff. So I make mistake here. This bot actually spot me, so I know that enemy team is able to see me on the minimap, but they don't pay attention, or they don't know what's that, and I'm just been lucky here. Nobody get interest in me, so I'm keep going with my mission behind enemy lines, yeah. And I'm waiting here until the enemy will leave this sector. We can't just rush into it and then find ourselves in a dogfight with like some aerial targets, whoever's gonna be here. That's just double the risk, yeah. So we start from the 30 points target, then there is this main building for 50 points. We use 2 bombs for 50 points just because we're flying so fast we can't use the cannons long enough. Now I'm engaging aerial target. I'm just looking for opportunity to get this air defense. That will be 40 capture points. So far so good, I didn't lose too much HP. Although, as you see, I'm struggling to hit this aerial target. There you go, finally, and 30 points target, 1 bomb, cannons dropped, and 20 points target here. And after that, you just need to destroy any other ground target, and you will flip this command center. But in this case here, actually my tail gunner take out 1 more air defense, and I have it. And take a look, we are on the top now. And this is very effective tactic. As you see, we put air domination on enemy very early in the battle, so it's much better than just fight with your own team over the sector which is close to your rest point, yeah. Now let me show you something different. As you see, there is Su-10 in enemy team specialized. We have only 1 bomber, tier 9, not specialist. So I'm gonna go first for the command center, not for mining plant on the right, because you have to always remember that the bombers will always get first to the target because we are slower, and you have to always keep that in your mind. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just trying to help my team as quick as possible to flip over this command center, and then I turn around quickly and keep going for that mining plant. So because we have to predict that this, if we go now straight away for the mining plant, yeah, then Su-10 gonna be there first, gonna flip it over, and then we just waste time over there waiting until this sector will be unlocked, 30 seconds. So why not use this 30 seconds to help my team to flip over this command center? And now we go for the mining plant, which most likely will be in enemy hands soon. But if by any chance that's not gonna be the case and we get this mining plant, I can still turn left and do something else, not waste time, yeah? But of course, Su-10 get there first, and our bomber pilot just been shot down by light fighter, which also go there. So we already know that we're gonna have a fight with light fighter over that sector. And if it's possible, we can cause some damage to the Su-10 on the way. That always helps, because Su-10 on low HP is vulnerable for air defense, and in next sector he may fail to take over. Anyway, let's focus on light fighter, yeah. We just quickly jump to tail gunner. We have enough HP, enough firepower to deal with this guy. We just can't start capping this sector and allow this guy to take us out, because that would be huge loss of time, huge blow for the team, for the team effort to win this game. So we need to take him out, and time is running out, so that need to be quick. So that's happened. So we have 60 capture points now done, and because of that we don't have to follow this rule that we take 50 points target, another 50 points target, and then 80 point target. We just doing this hammerhead turn, and I just, after 130 target, I just take the mining plant main building, and that's how we get it, yeah. as quick as possible. But again, we're never gonna be as quick as bombers. So I'm gonna speed up this battle now to the very end of it, and I'm gonna show you how I finished this battle by defending this very plant which is here. I was going for that command center, I took this command center, I had to get back to this mining plant, and there's a bomber trying to take over that. So I tried to defend it, but he outmaneuvered me here, yeah. But luckily for me, there's a ground attack plane incoming, so I can use this, and this is bot, so it's easy target. So basically I need to destroy this ground attack plane, but not now, I just need to wait. I just soft him, like, you know, reduce his amount of HP, and I wait until the first bomb will start exploding, which is now. So as you see, I take out the ground attack plane, but just after the bomber take out first ground targets, which is 20 points targets and 50 point target, yeah. He's also about to take those main building and another 30 point target. So theoretically he would flip this mining plant at one pass, but because we destroyed this ground attack plane and add extra 40 capture points, we basically stop him from doing so. And this is very important tactic which I want to push in this video. It's basically defending strategic sectors, defending by ground attack planes. And this sounds a little bit weird for many players, yeah. But like in here, you see this Su-10 is flying at low altitude. He's not even full HP, so it's easy target because we have such a tremendous firepower. We can delete him very quickly. We have a lot of HP, we can resist a lot of fire from his tail gunner. So basically this plane, theoretically, is perfect to deal with bombers, like perfect to defend sector against bombers, because we have so much HP, we have we have everything, best firepower to take out the Su-10 in this case, yeah. And as we know, the bombers, if they want to be effective, they have to go down, they have to bomb targets from lower altitude, so they will be more accurate, and specifically like in this case Su-10. Alright, so let's get into it, how to defend sectors in ground attack planes. And let's start with the bomber flight formation, because that's very important also. Well, bomber flight formation usually fly at the maximum altitude for the ground attack, yeah. So when we get to the altitude where the bomber flight formation is flying, this is basically almost like our maximum altitude, so we're losing a lot of speed very quickly. But because we have such a tremendous firepower, yeah, we can delete those bombers very quickly, like instantly. They vaporize. And as you see here, I destroy those 5 bombers, and thanks to this we get air domination, because if I would let them go, they will most certainly flip over this command center, yeah, and there will be no air domination in this case. So that was very useful. Now another thing I want to say here is that when we attack the bomber flight formation, we don't want to fly at this altitude of bomber flight formation. We approach them from much lower altitude where we can have high speed, and we only pull up to the target, in this case bomber flight formation, in the last moment. If we do that wrong, like if we don't get close enough, then we're gonna have a problem, because bomber flight formation is keep flying, and we at this altitude we won't be able to keep up with them, because the speed will drop to the minimum and we just fall off the sky, yeah. So that's gonna be example of that. But even though when that's happening, we still are able to destroy those bombers very quickly with this firepower. It depends on what kind of ground attack plane you're flying, but most of them can very quickly deal with these bomber flight formations. So this is very useful. Like in this case, again, the table turned very quickly, you see. Enemy just captured 2 sectors simultaneously, and if I would let go those bombers, then we will lose this command center, and we would stay only with 1 sector in the middle, which is very easy to flip over. And that's what actually eventually happened in this battle. We managed to win that, but on 1 sector, which remains, yeah. Now most importantly here, if you attack the bomber flight formation, it has to be something important like behind it, yeah. So let's say, like in this case, bomber flight formation going for the mining plant, and if I destroy this bomber flight formation, then this mining plant will reload extra 80 points, yeah. So that makes sense. We do not defend some garrisons or airstrip or some not important sectors which are easy to flip over. Yeah, we only defend something very important. Yeah, some good sectors like rocket base, command center, or most important would be mining plant. Yeah, like in this case. So this is actually a good example, because you can see that when I destroy those bombers here, that mining plant, but I have to destroy them all, including this last one. Yeah, in a moment that mining plant will reload that 80 points, but if I would let them go, yeah, you see that's most certainly this mining plant will fall, because it's already missing some points, capture points on it. Yeah, so now there you go, there's extra 80 points from that mining plant. Now we go into the middle of the map, and I'm going to show you how I'm defending this garrison, but against the low flying bombers. So how easy is that to take them out with this firepower? This is a big target, it's not maneuverable, and we have huge firepower with good range. We can delete them extremely quickly, better than heavy fighters. Yeah, that's why we should engage into defending sectors against the bombers, because it's so easy to take them out, specifically when they're flying so low. And if they want to be effective, then they have to fly so low. If they fly at high altitude, then of course we can't engage them, but then they are not so effective or fast, and we can keep capturing sectors instead. And when successful, this is specifically effective when there is more than one bomber in a team. So basically, if you destroy those bombers and your team still capping sectors, then you get a huge advantage. And the same with ground attack planes. You also can engage in dogfight with ground attack planes, the same as the bombers, and defend the sectors against those. Yeah, in this case here I'm losing this battle badly, despite my best effort. I capture as quick as possible, but enemy team is capturing faster. So I just decide that I'm gonna defend this mining plant. I'm gonna ambush those ground attackers which are incoming through the middle now for this mining plant. So if I'm successful, this mining plant will reload extra 80 points, and in the meantime I count on my team to capture other sectors like enemy mining plant. Yeah, and very important is also to recognize the situation, recognize the need for defending sectors in an early stage of the battle, not when you're clearly losing. Yeah, okay, here we go.
Surprise, motherfucker!
So, mission accomplished, and we have this mining plant defended. So that mining plant will give us extra 80 capture points, and my team actually take over another mining plant in the meantime. Yeah, so this is huge success, but as I mentioned, it's just way too late, because you need to recognize the situation earlier, that you need to defend the sector, and I didn't do that in this battle, and enemy have such an advantage that it's irrecoverable. Yeah, we cannot recover from that. And very often when you defend the sectors, you're not gonna have the best result in a game. You're not gonna have the most of the chevrons, or even personal score gonna suffer. So that's the price of the winning. In this case, that's the defeat. Unfortunately, I have very good score, but that's just because I was capping sectors for most of the battle, and I decided to defend only in the end, and that was the mistake. Now I'm gonna show you a more successful example. So this is a battle when I'm going up against two bombers. In my team is one bomber, and I'm on a ground attack plane. So first, obviously, we're gonna focus on capturing sectors as quick as possible. I'm gonna speed up this replay so we get to the point where I decide to defend the mining plant in this battle. Yeah, so very quickly we capture as quick as possible, and unfortunately we very quickly realize that enemy is capturing sectors faster. Now that was opportunity. I was trying to take out this bomber, but he took over the mining plant. But anyway, I finished off him so he wouldn't take this garrison so quickly. I get back to the mining plant very quickly, recapture that. I mean, very quickly for the ground attack plane, yeah. And we get back to the garrison, and you can see on the minimap how quickly enemy will retake this mining plant. Just see, I just finished here and they have it, yeah. So you see we have one sector. So this is clearly visible that enemy is capping sectors better than my team is not capping sector as quick as enemy, whatever the reason is, yeah. We can recognize that very quickly. I'm trying to recapture that, and when I have it, there you go. I'm thinking to go for that garrison, but this garrison is almost been taken over. I have to defend myself also because there's some light fighter behind me. There you go. And more or less around here I decide that the only way to win this game now is to focus on defending this mining plant, because this mining plant is like a magnet for the bombers. The bombers will come there, whatever. Like I go there because I know that bombers are incoming over there, and that's the only chance to win this game for me. If I kill them here, then maybe my team will have time to recover and they will keep capping sectors. I will be the one who's defending sector, and I have also a little bit of luck here because this time those bombers don't take that at one pass, yeah. So you see he's going down to drop the bombs, and then he try quickly to climb back to the safe altitude. That's alright, because I already shot him down earlier in this battle, so he's aware that this ground attack plane is not gonna allow him to fly around on low altitude. But this, I don't think I take this guy out, and also heavy fighter helping me here in the defense. So you see we're just about to reload extra 80 points in 20 seconds now. So I keep defending, I keep killing those, in this case bot here. Also very good opportunity, as I mentioned earlier, yeah. We have to use that, and mining plant looks fine now. We just get this extra 80 points now. There you go. And situation is start changing, you see. They keep getting killed here, and in the meantime my team is capturing other sectors, and they don't capture. I stop their progress of capturing sectors. So I mean, not only me, of course, as you see, there's also heavy fighter engaged into the defense, but my firepower is a key here. That's the main factor here, yeah. So you see, I don't fly that low. I don't have to crawl around just above the ground. I can fly much higher. I can be like stationary air defense, heavy air defense gun, yeah. Not quite stationary. You see, I can climb high enough to take out this bomber. There you go. They definitely didn't expect that. They was winning the battle, and now they losing just because they all been killed one by one in this mining plant. So to sum up, the ground attackers, we can use them very effectively to defend the strategic sectors and force the bombers to fly at high altitude, and in that case we come back to the capping sectors. If they fly high, they are not so effective and we can give up them, yeah. The whole idea of defending is obvious and it's nothing new, but for the other classes of the planes like light fighter, multi-role fighter or heavy fighters, not really for ground attack planes. And I met the Noble Q recently in a battle. I was when I was preparing this video, I was flying a lot of ground attack planes, and Noble Q is a YouTuber, content creator, also streamer, a decent player. So after the battle I can look it up and see if he's streaming. So in actually I had 2 battles against him, and one of these battles he was actually streaming, so I can look it up after the battle and see his perspective, and that's very helpful because I realize how little understanding is for this tactic. So let's take a look first on this shortcut of this battle. First my key moments, and then we'll see noble perspective.
Absolutely crazy. That actually helps me. Right. What's that stupid boy? He's defending a plant when his team are losing. That guy has got cockroaches in the head. He has not a clue how to win a battle. A little bit later.
The enemy force is too strong.
How did they get the win? Did they get a count off that plant? Anyway.
Okay, just to be clear, I called Q decent player, yes, but only in terms of gameplay, okay? Now what you see here is Garrison, and I'm not really defending it, it's just opportunity. I destroyed this bomber just because the mining plant been taken over and it's on cooldown now, this 30 seconds. When it's locked, I just deviate from that task of recapturing this mining plant, and I just destroyed that bomber. But in a squall line, everything's changed, and we actually maybe not even really defending, but we are trying to destroy enemies which are doing the most in a battle. So even over the garrison we can destroy the bomber or ground attackers, yeah, but in a squall line that makes sense because they're not gonna come back to the game anymore, they're not gonna be capping any more sectors, and we can even turn the table on some lost game just because in a squall line we eliminate the most capable enemies. Alright guys, we're getting into the end of the video. I know it's very long, sorry for that, but I just didn't know how to make it shorter, explain it better without showing all those examples. Now in the end of the video you will have one more full battle on a map with 5 garrisons up against very good opponents, and that's why I didn't talk about garrisons, how to take them over most effectively, because you're gonna have a good few examples in the end. That's going to be without my commentary. You can see the tactic I was discussed earlier, how I implement them in a battle. So I will say my goodbye here. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you learned something new, and as always, if you like it, please leave a like and subscribe for future content. Thank you guys, and have a good hunting.